Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's the old guy Jack here. We had some great weather yesterday. 60 degrees and bright sunshine, just really nice out there. So I hopped on my AT3 that needed new crank seals. And I spent about, I don't know, somewhere between 4 and 5 hours out in the garage with it. And we got both seals replaced. I shot all that on video. So now I got to crank all that video through and try and trim it down to about, I'm going to do two 30-minute sessions if I can. And but I had a little problem at the end. All of the video on the right side has no sound. And just the end of the video, the last couple segments of the video on the left side has no sound. So I did a little dubbing and put some comments in there. I don't know how good that's going to be, but I'm going to have to do that for the whole of the right side. And I'll try and get that out tomorrow. I'll try and do the left side. I'll post that up today. And then the right side tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started on doing the crank seals on this thing. First thing that's got to come off, and wouldn't you know it, it's the one thing I don't have a wrench for. Now I got a wrench for everything. Good old Harbor Freight, huh? I need to take the shift lever off. I don't know if that's, is that not a 10? You know what? I think it's a socket head. So, we'll get rid of that. Sorry about that. I think I just bumped you there. And we'll put a socket head on it. We'll make sure we're going in reverse. See if we can get up there. All right. That one goes to the shift lever. Now all we got to do is get it out of there, right? It's coming. Let me put a little pressure on the backside. All right, that's out. Okay, we need to get all these, one down here, here. Get those out. I think we'll put a longer one on. Short one up there. A little longer one there. Don't know if I need that one or not, but we'll take it out. And one down here. Let's see if I can do it blind. All right, we got that. Now we're going to need a JIS screwdriver. And let's see, this is all good. You'll note up here there's some colors right here. This one says green, light green. This one says, I don't know, kind of amber or orange or whatever you want to call it. This one again says green, but dark green this time. And this one over here says white or yellow. Well, it's yellowed with age, but it's supposed to be white. All right. We're going to have to take this off. I think it's a 12. Let's see what we got here. It's a 12. And you know what? We're going to have to take this off too. So we might as well do that now. And it's a long one. That one goes in there. Doesn't want to come out. I think that's all. All right. Let's see if we can get that one down below out. Is there something else? It's... yeah, it'll come. I'm pretty sure it'll come. I don't think there's anything else in it. Let me see if I can get this one out all the way. I may have to take the foot pegs off, but I don't think so. On some you do and some you don't. Alright, there's that one. So here's all my screws that hold the covers on. Put them over in the tray over here. Then go to wiggling again. Wonder if I can put a little pressure in here. There, we got her started. All right, we're just going to let that hang down here. There was a bean inside of it. Don't know what that was doing there. Now we need to get this off. Okay. That comes out. Oh, that looks terrible. Wow. That's not looking good at all. I bet my points have shifted because I don't know if you can see that real well or not, but that part of that's going to be crud. Part of it is wear, I'm afraid. All right, we need to take this off. So we'll screw this in. What do you think that looks like, a 17? You know what? Actually, we take the stator off first. Then we get the armature after that. I'm forgetting here. I definitely need a screwdriver for that. Yeah, that's going to be a JIS, I think. All right, let's see. There's no adjustment slots behind these, so it won't change my point setting or timing setting. Okay. Now this has to come off, and we're going to leave it connected. And we're going to plug this in, and we should be able to pull that armature off there. Well, I backed it out, and I think this tool is not made for this particular motorcycle. And I think what I need to do, I think I need to take these down and make this pin longer. Might work. That looks pretty good. Let's see if it'll go this time. That did her. So this is now an AT puller. Okay. Yep, that definitely is bad. All right, I'm going to go get a screw and a new seal, and I'll be back. All right, we got a screw, and we got an extension for this because the screw is Torx, and this little Torx thing came with a screws. It's nice of them to give you a driver bit when you buy a box of screws. All right, let's see if we can get this in there. Probably work better if I go Let's see if we can get a pair of pliers on that. Doesn't want to come out, does it? You're supposed to use a slide hammer, but I don't have one for this particular purpose. Let's see if we can. No. All right. Next. We'll try something else then. Let's take the screw out. Alright, this is an oil seal puller, but I'm not sure I can get a hold of anything with it. No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, that ain't going in there. And I don't think that's going to hold. I might have to try something else. I'll bring you back, okay? All right, Alright, so I grabbed this little guy. I pounded it into the hole there and got a good bite in there and bent the heck out of it. But I got a good bite on it and was able to get it out. Alright, let's take a look at the two seals. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the right one, but we got a problem in there. It needs to be cleaned out quite a bit, and I'm going to do it with WD-40, I think. Let me get that out of the way. Something I just learned not too long ago. WD stands for water displacement in WD-40. Oh well. Not too old to learn something, I guess. Alright, so I just went over with my calipers and measured this and then tried to read it. I destroyed part of the number here, but it's a 25 by 40 by 8. So let's check this one. This is the new one. As you can see, it's a genuine Yamaha part, which is most likely made by somebody else and stuck in a Yamaha parts bag. This one should be entirely readable if I can get it in the right light. So we'll look for that and I'll be back. Alright, well, I'm trying to clean this all out in here. It looks like maybe the rubber from the last seal has become part of the shaft. I'm not liking that. And I don't know exactly. I wonder if I use some acetone on it, if that might break that rubber up a little bit. I was thinking about using polishing compound like you use on valves and stuff, but I really don't want to get it in the bearing. So I'm going to try some acetone and see if that'll maybe break that rubber up that's on there. Can't really get into it. So I did check the new seal, and it is a 25 by 40 by 8, just like the old one. So we know we're right there, and the next time we need one, we can just order it from a seal manufacturer rather than going to Yamaha and paying 3 times the price. So my phone is going off and I'm going to try some more cleaning on that and I'll be back. Well, folks, this is in pretty bad shape and it really needs a whole new crank. But it's really not worth putting a whole new crank in, I don't think. If you look down in here, there's a little groove worn in there. I don't know how that got there. The oil seal hits on there, and there might be enough smooth material out here that the oil seal will seal. I'm not sure. I took a couple of these little Q-tips that I got, and I put some Scotch-Brite on it with WD-40, and I cleaned it as good as I could, but there's an actual groove in there, I'm afraid. And I don't know if this bike is worth trying to put a whole new crank in it. Might be. I might go, well, I'm going to put it back together the way it is. And I'll keep my eye open for another engine. I hate to replace the whole engine though, because I think it's serial number matching. So, but if I can get another engine, then I can swap out the crank, maybe if the crank in the new one is good. So I think what I'm going to do right now is try and replace these two seals here while I'm in here, and then put the new seal on the crank and oil it up good. And if you look at this, the or the points rider goes on this. This is the cam, and it's pretty badly pitted as well. I don't know if I've been inside this engine before or not. Apparently not. So, anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get some oil this up, put in the new seal, put everything back together on this side, go over to the other side, and I'll have to take the clutch off and all that stuff as well. So I need to get some oil and some grease, and we'll put this guy back together. All right, let's see what we got here. The new bearing, we're going to put a little oil all the way around it. This little plunger leaks, so I stick it in the grease there. I shouldn't stick it in so far. This is 2-stroke oil. And we're just putting it all the way around there. And all the way around the inside. And now all we gotta do is get it to seat in there. Yeah. I'm gonna get a You can tell when it gets down by the sound. That, maybe a little bit right there. Looks good. All right, that seal is in, and the inside lip of the seal rides on the smooth part. Hopefully, it will seal okay. If not, we'll be tearing this down in a year or two, if I last that long. All right. Put the armature back on. That commutator is fairly cruddy. We'll see if we can't clean that up a bit. This is the commutator. It communicates. That's how I remember what that is. And we got to remember, when we put the stator back on, to pop the brushes out before we try and put that on. Because if you don't pop the brushes out of their holders and you push this thing in there, or push that stator onto this, it will break those points, or those brushes, and they're sometimes hard to find, and they're never cheap. It's getting a little cleaner. I think I'm just going to spray it off with WD and see what we got. Well, that looks a whole lot better, doesn't it? All right, let's put this guy back on. And the stator, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if we can just focus right in on it there. There's a little spring that comes out there, and I'm going to have to go get a hook. Right here, the brush goes down in this hole, and this little spring, let me go get a something to bring that out where you can see it. All right, so we got some picks here, a couple of them, and what we want to do is the arm of that spring goes over and rides on the back of the brush. All right, it's not all that easy, but it's got to be done, and I can't. You need to get the brush all the way out there and then get that spring like this. I don't know, hopefully I'll zoom in on that when I do the editing. And there should be 4 brushes in this. I'm going to do the other 3 just like that. You can see right there the brush is all the way out and the spring is pushing on the side of it. So I'll bring you back when I get the other 3 done. All right, I'm not sure how well you can see this. The stator is back in. Now down here, this right here is the brush, and this is the spring that holds it in. So we've got the spring, the hook on it in the front, just pushing against the side that's keeping the brush out there. So if you push the brush back in, then it should contact the commutator, and the spring will pop in after it and hold it in place against the commutator. So I got 3 more of those to do, and I'll be back. Well, folks, I've done it again. I screwed up and didn't record sound for some reason. I must have pushed a button on the camera that I didn't mean to push or something. But anyway, what I'm doing here is I'm putting this back together. I replaced this on the shift rod that goes through the engine. I replaced the oil seal on it. The one that the push rod goes through looked like it was brand new, so I left it alone. I had one of them, but I just figured, what the heck, it's good. That's what I was pointing to it for. So I got that all done, and then I went ahead and put the covers back on, and then I started on the other side. And for about 2 hours of work I did on the other side, because you got to take the clutch all apart and take it off and all that stuff, I have no sound. So I don't know what to say. Enjoy the music. We're just putting it back together. This is on the left side.